types of biotic interactions in a food web. The first one is amensalism. Amensalism, see here it is written like negative and 0. That means there is a species A, there is a species B, and when they interact with each other, B is not having any benefit or it is not having any loss also, but A is definitely having loss. Okay, two are interacting with each other. I'll give you an example. There is a very big tree, and towards the down part there is also a small plant. Okay, so this tree is shading this plant. So this plant is not getting any kind of sunlight, or they are not getting any kind of water because everything is taken away by this tree. But this particular plant is very much negatively affected by the tree. But when you consider tree, is this plant affecting tree? No, right? This plant is doing nothing to this tree. The tree is unaffected, but the plant is getting destroyed because of this tree. Understanding it? So this particular plant is negatively affected, but the tree have no effect at all. This is called as amensalism. Okay, one is negatively affected, the other is having no effect at all. Clear? Very clear? Another biotic interaction, that is predation. Predation means there is a predator and there is a prey. Predator will always be benefited, right? Because predator is getting the food. What happens to the prey? Prey dies. So prey is negatively affected, predator is positively affected. So always there is benefit for predator, but negative effect for prey population. This is predation. One species benefits, the other species is harmed. Okay, you can talk about the predators like tiger hunting a deer. Deer is harmed, but the predator, that is tiger, is getting benefited. It is getting food. That is predation. One is benefited, the other is harmed. Plus and minus. Clear? Next is parasitism. Parasitism means what? There is a parasite and this parasite is harmful to the host. For example, there is a roundworm in a body of a cow. Okay, roundworm is literally causing all the problems to the cow. But the parasite, that is a roundworm, is getting benefited. Right? It is using the body fluids, it is using whatever is available in the body. At the same time, the cow is getting affected because of that. So that is parasitism. Parasite is getting benefited, the other thing is getting harmed. Tapeworm, roundworm, parasite, fungi, bacteria, these are all examples. Clear? That is parasitism. Then there is competition. Competition means two different species are competing for the same resource. For example, there is a deer population. This deer population is targeted by the crocodile population as well as the tiger population. Okay, so both are fighting for the same species. So what happens if the same species become like very less? Both are getting affected, right? The competition always will be negative for both of the parties. Okay, competition adversely affect both of the parties because they are targeting the same resource. If the resource is exhausted, if the resource is finished, both are affected. Fine, that is competition. You're getting my point, right? Next is commensalism. Commensalism is the opposite of amensalism. Amensalism, we talked about the tree and the plant. The tree is not affected, the plant is negatively affected. Here, one species is not affected, the other species are positively affected. I'll give you an example. There is the sucker fish. Okay, sucker fish will get attached to the big fishes like shark. So the sucker fish will not move by its own. What will it do is it will attach to the shark. So when the shark moves, it will automatically get the movement. It does not have to move. The shark is moving, right? And also the shark will be eating all the food and the remaining, whatever is left over, it is being taken by the sucker fish. So the sucker fish is getting food, it is getting free transportation from the shark, but the shark is not even aware that there are sucker fishes on him. It is not affected at all. So sucker fish is positively affected, but the shark remain unaffected. That is commensalism. Okay. Next is mutualism. Mutualism means both are benefited. Both are getting benefited. I'll give you an example of coral reef. Coral reef will have two parts. Okay. It means it will have a polyp, coral polyp, and it will have a producing part, that is zooxanthellae. So the zooxanthellae produces food for the polyp. Polyp will give protection to zooxanthellae. So they are mutually benefited. Okay. And that mutual benefit is called as mutualism. And in mutualism itself, there is another concept called as symbiosis, where they are so much into each other that if one is removed, the other is also dying. Okay, I'll give you another example about crocodile and the bird. You can see that sometimes the crocodile opens its mouth and sits like that, and the bird, it is coming and like pricking things from the crocodile's mouth. So what is happening here? Crocodile is getting free cleaning of its mouth, and the bird is getting food out of it. Both are benefited, but they are not mutually dependent on each other. Any bird can do the purpose, or any crocodile can serve the purpose. But here in coral polyps, if one of the things is removed, the other dies off. Okay, that is much more deeper relation, that is symbiosis. Fine. Another concept here is neutralism. Neutralism means no one is getting affected. Both are interacting, but none is getting affected. But that will not ideally occur. Whenever two organisms interact, definitely there will be a reaction. So this is like a very idealistic case. This is like a theoretical thing. It's not practically possible. Okay.